Days of Our Lives spoilers. EJ and Amp, Belle's marriage, is Susan right about duo tying the knot? Days of Our Lives. Brady and Kristen reunite? Two tragedies pull them close. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that EJ DiMera and Belle Black's marriage lately came a content of discussion. Is Susan Banks right about this brace eventually tying the knot? Susan is known for her prognostications and vibes, but her commentary in Days' May 16th occasion were further about her excitement over EJ chancing a great woman. It's clear that Susan approves of Belle's love for EJ and thinks she's a big step over from a mean Sammy Brady. Of course, EJ and Belle don't want to rush their love, but Susan doesn't see why they should move sluggishly. That's why Susan was formerly agitating the possibility of a Belle and EJ marriage. Susan suggested that perhaps by the time she makes another visit to Salem, EJ and Belle could be tying the knot. Days observers heard Susan get agitated over the idea of some marriage bells, though Marlena Evans obviously wasn't on board. Will Susan's studies on Belle and EJ's love ultimately prove accurate? Are EJ and Belle really perfect for each other like Susan thinks, and does that mean they might indeed have a marriage form at some point? Despite Susan's sanguinity, there are good reasons to suppose Belle and EJ's relationship will fall piecemeal sooner rather than laterally. Although marriage bells are possible, it doesn't look like EJ and Belle will last all that long as a couple. Days of Our Lives suckers know EJ wants everyone, especially Belle, to believe he's experienced a major metamorphosis due to his coma fire. That's the kind of thing that can change a person, so EJ is leaning into it and trying to make himself feel like he's turning from his unlawful ways. In reality, EJ is still manipulative and dangerous as his core, so it may not be long until Belle sees his true colors formerly again. Belle may end up jilting EJ if he proves to her that he hasn't authentically changed at all. Anyhow, Days spoilers allude that EJ and Kat Green's bond will continue to grow now that she's warming up to him. That should set the stage for an EJ, Kat and Chad DiMera love triangle in the coming months. Who are you lodging for EJ to be with? Does EJ belong with Belle, Kat, or someone differently? Days of Our Lives spoilers say some curveballs are still to come in EJ's love life, so stick with us for updates on all the stunning news and major romantic developments. Days of Our Lives. Brady and Kristen reunite? Two tragedies pull them close. Days of Our Lives suckers may suppose that Brady Black and Kristen DiMera are over and done and just co-parents right now, which is what the cleaner has told us. Still, these ongoing issues with their son Rachel Black and the forthcoming death of John Black could see Brady falling back into Kristen's staying arms formerly again. Let's talk about Brady and whether it's about to be a cold day in Salem because he might take back Kristen after swearing he was done with her for good. Tense co-parenting. Rachel Black's capers strain Brady and Kristen. So, effects have been tense between Brady and Kristen for a while, further than usual. Effects got really bad between them when Rachel started transferring textbook pitfalls to Ava Vitali. And also the sprat claimed she learned how to treat her adversaries from her mama, Kristen. Also effects got indeed more tense when Rachel ran down and accidentally met her namesake and her grandmother, Rachel Blake. And that led to Rachel's crazy grandma hijacking Brady's also gal, Ava, with an help from little Rachel. And also, Kristen wound up party to it. It was just a mess. And all these capers from Rachel that Kristen sounded to be a part model for fully caused Brady his relationship with Ava. He's enough salty about that. But I mean, can you condemn her for not sticking around? Days of Our Lives. A birthday to flash back. So, after that hijacking incident, Kristen agreed with Brady that, yeah, perhaps Rachel should get some remedy. And lately on Days of Our Lives, Brady came over to celebrate Rachel's birthday. It was an Alice in Wonderland themed party. But the sprat only had Kristen and Brady and her uncle EJ DiMera on hand. That's because little Rachel has enough much-known musketeers at Academy because, let's face it, she's a bitsy terror who presumably scares the bejesus out of her classmates. So that's why Kristen and Brady wanted to give Rachel a special family night ago. All the kiddies refused to attend the party. And also indeed her Aunt Belle Black had to leave the party before the fests really demurred into high gear. EJ and Kristen were trading brickbats about Ava's hijacking. And as quarter attorney, Belle demanded to excuse herself ASAP, so she didn't have any conflicts of interest or have to do anything about the stuff she was hearing. And of course, Rachel was dissatisfied that Aunt Belle couldn't stay. But they made the stylish of it after she went. Did Rachel shoot EJ? Discharging the days of our lives riddle? And it was relatively intriguing that little Rachel wanted EJ to stay for her festivity. Now, our leaker told us months ago, and I participated with you guys, that it's little Rachel who picked up the gun that Johnny left and she shot EJ. However, Roman went over to the demerriments and he set up the gun enough doubtly stuck in a farmer out front, if you flash back. And that doesn't feel like commodity Johnny would do. You know, if he decided not to shoot EJ, I believe Johnny would have taken the gun back to Roman's, or indeed if he had, that seems a veritably strange thing to do for notoriety. Who's smarter than that? And not that Rachel's dumb, she's not. She's wicked wrong smart. But a sprat that age isn't going to suppose about forensics or getting rid of untried murder armament, you know. Rachel's guilt and Kristen's cover up on Days of Our Lives. So, Days of Our Lives this week had EJ and Kristen and Brady talking about the firing, and also Rachel kind of did this big fake nudnik and claimed she was tired and ready for bed. And Rachel indeed said she could stay until the morning to open the rest of her gifts. What sprat does that, right? And also Kristen and EJ continued bickering after Rachel went to bed, and a furious Kristen knocked the T-charger and she transferred a server, crashing to the bottom in the manse. And also we saw Rachel rush down and into Kristen's arms looking for comfort after an agony about a projectile. Kind of intriguing agony that Rachel had, right? How numerous little girls dream about shots. So, of course, Kristen assured Rachel and explained that she accidentally knocked into the charger. But it just seems more likely that Kristen and Brady's sprat was agitated for Uncle EJ being at the party out of guilt. And Rachel might have been feeling further guilt when she fibbed and said she was tired and went off to her room just to get out of the situation. Days of Our Lives Kristen and Brady help Rachel. That and her agony, you know, makes you wonder if she did shoot her Uncle EJ like our leaker said, or at a minimum that Rachel knows who did. EJ still thinks it's Johnny and he's covering for him. But he's also been pointing the cutlet at Kristen. And if she finds out Rachel shot EJ, you know, well, Kristen may cover Rachel by covering for her on Days of Our Lives. Right now, Brady and Kristen are determined to help Rachel through this thing, whatever she's going through. And with a felonious mama in Kristen and an addict pater in Brady, we all know Rachel has some deep-seated issues. They feel to be doing okay, ask co-parents right now. And Kristen and Brady are acting as a united front where Rachel is concerned. But Kristen and Brady may continue to get near as they try to help their son and cross over those co-parenting lines into commodity differently. John Black's death a tragedy that could reunite Brady and Kristen. So, this Rachel stress obviously is pulling them closer, and also commodity additional woeful happens. Two effects actually. We know that John's death is right around the corner on Days of Our Lives, and Brady is going to be devastated about his father dying. Plus, Kristen may take the news hard as well. Not only is John the grandpa of her son Rachel, but Kristen, if you do flash back, had a romantic relationship with John in the history. It's been a nanosecond. And with Brady and Kristen spending further time together as a family and assuring each other, that might lead to sparks flying. Rejuvenating romance? Why Brady might fall back in love with Kristen. Brady principally told Belle, and this has been, I don't know, like 6 weeks ago or so, when she was talking about her magnet to EJ that she really wished she didn't feel. And he was talking about his magnet to Kristen that he didn't feel. And Brady said that Kristen's kind of like alcohol to him at this point. You know, it's tempting. It's poisonous. It's commodity he can get addicted to and commodity he has to avoid falling back in with again. And with Ava gone, there's a chance Brady might fall back in with Kristen again, especially with him losing his pater, John and Kristen stepping up to comfort him. Effects could take a turn with Brady and Kristen. So, Days suckers may see Brady assuring Kristen about Rachel, particularly if they figure out their sprat shot EJ. And Kristen may comfort Brady after his pater's death. This week, of course, Marlena gets a call that seems positive about John, but Marlena's sanguinity doesn't last long. And we soon get the reveal that John may have been set up, but not alive. Days of our lives ruined to reconnect? And his exit is set as open and concluded because the Penns were trying to leave room for Drake Hodgson's possible return. So, with Kristen right there offering Brady a shoulder to cry on, there's just no telling how far it may go. You know, a lot of people actually hook up at or after a burial, after a wake, a festivity of life because it's life-affirming. The number of babies born 9 months after a death in the family is statistically significant. You know, you want to be close to notoriety, you want to feel alive after you witness a loss. And Brady, to be fair, has had a lot of loss recently. So, yeah, Kristen might have him back in her arms before too long. And we all know she's crazy about Brady and would be thrilled to attune with him. She'll take any scruple he'll give her. And little Rachel would be agitated, too, because obviously she's been wanting her parents back together. That's why she was spooking Ava. So, John's death and Rachel felonious capers could actually bring Kristen and Brady back together. Stay and see. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.